Indiana Fever just became a WNBA super team. This move changes everything. And the Fever nightmare, oh, it's real. This WNBA power shift is a game changer. The Fever are done rebuilding. DeWanna Bonner brings a championship mentality. WNBA teams, beware. The Indiana Fever just became a legitimate contender. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. The Indiana Fever just made a game-changing move signing DeWanna Bonner, a future Hall of Famer and one of the most accomplished players in WNBA history. But this isn't just about adding another veteran. This is about winning and winning now. Bonner's move is bigger than just basketball. It's about family, legacy, and the future of this team. Let's break down what this means for the Fever and the rest of the WNBA. DeWanna Bonner's resume is insane, and she's still playing at an elite level. She is third all-time in active scoring, second in rebounds, steals, and three-pointers made. Bonner is on the verge of becoming the third all-time leading scorer among active players, needing just 7 points to solidify her place in WNBA history. She also ranks second in rebounds, steals, and three-pointers made, showing her well-rounded game and ability to impact on both ends of the court. She has the most playoff games in WNBA history. She knows how to win. Bonner has played in more playoff games than any other player in WNBA history and has only missed the playoffs once in her career. Her experience in high-pressure moments gives the Fever an edge when the postseason comes around. She is still playing at an extremely high level, coming off two of her best seasons, despite being a 15-year veteran. Bonner has had two of the best statistical seasons while playing for Connecticut. Even in her late 30s, she remains a dominant offensive force and a key contributor in back-to-back playoff runs. As Fever GM Amber Cox said, Bonner is like fine wine. She keeps getting better with age. So, why did she choose Indiana? Family, being closer to her kids, played a huge role.
This decision was kind of selfish. I thought about me, my family. My kids are 3.5 hours up the road, so that was huge. So just getting an opportunity to spend a little bit more time with them.
Bonner emphasized in her press conference that this decision was a selfish one in the best way. She wanted to be closer to her kids, who are just now only 3.5 hours away. In Connecticut, she would often go 4 or 5 months without seeing them. Now, she has a much greater opportunity to balance basketball and her family life. She believes in the Fever's vision and their young core. Bonner watched Indiana's impressive second half surge last season and saw a team that is on the verge of greatness.
And also joining a team that's just impressive. I think everybody's seen the second half of their season, and it was an unbelievable season. And I just felt like they had a dynamic core, and I just wanted to be another puzzle piece into what they had. And hopefully I can give my knowledge, my leadership, and give it to these young players, so when I retire, they can pass it along.
She was particularly impressed by how hard the Fever fought in their playoff series against Connecticut. So much so that the Sun were desperate to avoid taking the series back to Indiana.
DeWanna, you mentioned the impressive second half for this team last year. You also went against them in the postseason. What stood out about the group in that setting, and in what way did that influence your decision to come here?
I just think the fight. The first game, of course, I feel like it was a little bit of a shock, and the way they came out the second game, all we kept saying was like, no, we can't take it back home. We can't take it to Indy. We can't take it to Indy because of the crowd.
Seeing their talent, energy, and competitiveness convinced her that Indiana has the pieces to build a championship team. Her past connection with Coach Stephanie White made the decision a little easier. Bonner has worked with Coach Stephanie White before, so there is a level of trust and familiarity. While she gave credit to Amber Cox, Kelly Croscroft, and head coach Stephanie White for making her feel valued, she also acknowledged that having a system she's comfortable with was a major factor in her choice.
Yeah, Chloe Peterson, Indy Star. I have one for both DeWanna and Steph. Obviously, DeWanna, how did Steph coming here impact your decision? And then Steph, just what does she bring, or what did she bring to Connecticut that she can also bring here?
I don't know if Steph had much of an impact more than Amber and Kelly, honestly. So I feel like I had my best seasons in Connecticut with them. Just learned a lot under them. So of course it was just going to be like, okay, I don't have to learn a whole new system 15 years in. Like, that's kind of crazy. So that kind of impacted my decision there. But I think it was more so Amber. I've been with her for 4 years. Every year that she's been in this league, she's come after me and made me feel important, made me feel like I'm going to be well taken care of, and I trust her and I trust the vision of this franchise. So I'm just lucky to be a part of it 15 years in on a franchise that's growing so much for women's sport.
I didn't want to have to learn a whole new system at this stage of my career, Bonner said, making Indiana the perfect fit. What does this mean for the Fever's future? Well, Clark, Bonner, Boston, and Mitchell equals a nightmare for defenses. And this is why I said that this is going to be a nightmare on Pace Street, because they're going to push, pace down the throats of defenses all season long in 2025. The Fever now boasts one of the most well-balanced and dangerous lineups in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, a generational playmaker and scorer. Aliyah Boston, a dominant post presence who will only get better. Kelsey Mitchell, a proven scorer and a sharpshooter. DeWanna Bonner, a versatile veteran who can stretch the floor, defend multiple positions, and bring elite playoff experience. This is no longer a developing team. This is a roster built to compete now. She brings leadership, experience, and a championship mindset. Bonner has played in multiple WNBA finals and has won 2 championships. She understands what it takes to win at the highest level, and her leadership will be invaluable for Caitlin Clark, Aliyah Boston, and the other young stars. Bonner herself said she hopes to pass down her knowledge so that when she retires, these younger players can continue to lead the Fever to success. This move signals that the Indiana is done rebuilding. They're in the win now mode. Last year, the Fever were still seen as a work in progress. Now, they've positioned themselves as a serious contender. The additions of Bonner, Natasha Howard, Sophie Cunningham, and Sydney Colson prove that Indiana is aggressively building a championship caliber team. Bonner even stated, "I want to win. I don't see myself taking a step back."
Me, I want to win. I'm a winner. I feel like that's kind of been where I am my whole career, and I don't see myself taking a step back, and I just feel like just adding to what they have that we can take this thing to a different level.
That mentality is now the standard in Indiana. So, what does this mean for the WNBA? Well, Indiana Fever are now a top-tier team, expected to contend immediately. A year ago, the Fever were just trying to make playoffs. Now, with a stacked roster of young stars and experienced veterans, well, they are now one of the most complete teams in the league. Bonner's arrival elevates them from a promising young squad to a team with legitimate championship aspirations. Other teams, well, they need to adjust because the Fever are no longer an easy matchup. Last season, teams could game plan against the Fever's inexperience. But now, that's no longer the case. The additions of Bonner and Howard give Indiana a tough, experienced front court, making them a nightmare on Pay Street in both transition and half-court play. Bonner described the Fever's high-tempo playing style as a major threat, referring to the way they push the ball and keep defenses scrambling. This offseason just shifted the power balance in the WNBA. The Indiana Fever are no longer just a fun, young team to watch. They're a team that demands respect. Other WNBA franchises now have to rethink their approach, knowing that the Fever have both talent and leadership to make a deep run. Teams that believe they had a clear path to championship, well, now they have another serious contender in their way. This isn't just about adding a veteran. This is about winning and winning now. DeWanna Bonner has joined forces with Caitlin Clark, Aliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell to form one of the most dangerous teams in the WNBA. The message is clear. Indiana isn't waiting anymore. They're here and they're coming for a championship. What do you think? Are the Fever legit contenders now? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more content like this. You can download the Caitlin Clark and Fever songs free using the link in descriptions by clicking more. Until next time, keep ballin'.